So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Gloria. Hey, Helene. Hey, Sherry. And I don't know if that's Michael, but thinking it's something else. Oh, Gloria said she made the cashew cheese and crackers and they turned out great. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna show you my cheeses, but they're in my other fridge, so I can't bring them out. But I'm gonna say I pretty much used my dehydrator to get everything started. But I thought this is the season where people get into canning and making pickles. So we're going to do fermented pickles to end our August and end our fermentation little trip that we've been going on, making cheese, making rejuvelac. And today we'll finish it off with some pickles. So I have carrots and I have dill pickles. So dill is like, oh, my favorite, no shame there. And if you could smell what my kitchen smells like, garlic and dill right now. Oh my gosh. And I got my garlic at the farmer's market. It's fresh. Wow, is it ever different from the stuff you buy in the store? Let me tell you. If you can get local, that's the best. Sometimes local also costs more. So let's start off with our pickles. I've got 2 mason jars, so I'm going to make 2. I think I have enough cucumbers for more. And we're going to stuff our jars to start. That's the first step that we'll do, is stuff our jars. So I am going to start with some dill. I have some dill. Now, when I went to the farmer's market, I've already used it all up, but I had dill that has the seeds on it. You can kind of see it in here, kind of the whole, almost the flower part. So I've just got, this is the kind I've got now, but they're all so good. And I'm just going to throw some dill in both because I'm going to make dill, use dill for both. Now you don't have to for your, you don't have to if you don't want to use dill, but I am. And make sure ladies, your hands are clean, your utensils are clean, because for fermentation, we are dealing with cultures of bacteria. We're looking at good bacteria, but we don't want to introduce any bad. So with the age of dishwashers, it's pretty easy to put everything in the dishwasher and, wash your hands and everything else. So I put in that, and I'm going to add some garlic. Oh, I got a few more. Let me put all this. I don't want to leave any dill out. I've got garlic. Now, I went to the grocery store and they had garlic scapes, which is basically the tops of the garlic. And they're not as potent as the garlic, but they're fresh and you can use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I cut up 2 of these garlic scapes into little pieces. Oh my gosh, the smell. So I'm going to put half in each of these jars. Says I don't want this stuff floating around. So you don't want things floating up to the top. So what I'm putting this all in the bottom, so hopefully it stays in the bottom. And I've got also 4, you could add like peppercorns, caraway seeds, coriander seeds here. It's all up to you. Now I have black tea bags. I'm just going to put 1 in. So it's just black tea, no flavors or oils or anything in it. I'm going to put it in for my carrots, my pickles, to help the tannins in the black tea will help keep them crunchier and they won't get all soggy. So you can put that in too. And now we're going to stuff and literally stuff with I've got, these are the pickling cucumbers. They're out now in our area. And we're just going to, now you can cut them if you want. So I cut 1 here because it was bigger. And the ones that I made here, these I got at the farmer's market, were big cucumbers. So I cut them into quarters first, but it's up to you. I'm just going to leave these whole, and you want to stuff them in. because you want them to stay down. You don't want them to come up to the surface and be floating. So you're going to be a magician here. Hopefully I can do this. Maybe because some of these cucumbers are a little bent. Oh, okay, I'll put some of the straight ones in the bottom. And I'll use this one on top. I want to get this. This is good to like jam in the side, so I'll leave it. I got to get.
Sounds like you need to be an architect.
Hello? Was there a question?
No, I was saying it sounds like you almost need to be an architect.
Yeah, so I got them. Now they will, look, they're in. It's like the Dairy Queen thing, right? And I'm going to maybe stuff a couple here up at the top, if I can get them in. And I want to have this one. This one might go in to the side, because they do loosen up once you, and they will loosen up once they ferment a bit. So I'm going to just leave those like that. That's pretty good for now. So there's my pickles, my dill pickles. Now you see I took the ends off. The recommendation is to take the ends off, or the one end where the cucumber is on the stem off, because it's better for the pickling to do that. It's just kind of some of the stuff in there. And honestly, I'm just going to be honest. I don't remember exactly the reason, but in the recipe, it's there. Okay. So that's my pickles, my dill pickles. Now I'm going to do for the carrots. I have 3 left over. I'm going to make another batch later. I bought, these are Nantes carrots, but you can want to buy some nice fresh. These are pretty small ones that I bought. And I washed them all. They kind of look, now you can peel them if you want to take the skins off. If the skins are not appealing to you, that's fine. It's up to you. I'm leaving the skins on because there's more nutrition in the skins. And just gonna pile them in, and then you wedge them. So I just put these in, and I did cut some of them up that were bigger, but these ones are pretty small, like the ones that I pickled already. Most of those ones are a little bit bigger. These ones are little short stubby things, but that's okay. And you know, you can cut them to be smaller. The smaller they are, the less surface, the less area there is, you know, to absorb the pickle. So that's a good thing to, you know, if you want to be precise about everything and get something, you know, all even. If you're that kind of person, like you like that. Me, I'm good. This is good enough because this is for me. It's not like for anybody else but me. So I'm getting to the point now where I'm trying to, it's like, is it like Jenga or something where you kind of stuff everything in? I don't know. I'm just trying to wedge things in to keep them as tight as possible. And I'm just going to do this one layer for these. If there's any left over, they make a good snack for me with my cheese, Gloria. Yum. I'm going to go over to Gloria's house to have cheese and crackers. One day I'll be in Regina area, Gloria. You got to watch. Okay. I think maybe this little one will go into this. I just want to stuff them in. There's the test, right? Put it upside down. So I have a couple left over. You could put them on the top, but these ones are just going to float away. So I'm just going to leave it. You know, you could use for the small ones, like a smaller jar too. And now's a great canning season to get mason jars. I like the big ones because you see I was stuffing my hands in there. And then all these little jars are the same size. But if you want, you can get the ones that are this is the wide mouth, and there's also the regular ones that have the narrower mouth. I prefer the wide mouth, so you can actually get your hands into it. So that's ready to go. Let me move my stuff out of the way here. And now we're going to make our brine. So I'm going to add a little bit of my rejuvelac. I still have some. You do not need to use rejuvelac. What it's going to do is the rejuvelac will be a little bit of a starter, so it'll ferment faster, but you do not need to use it. You can just use plain filtered water and salt. That's it. That's your brine. So I love to do this. So I'm going to put 15 grams of salt in the bottom and then add some water to dissolve got a bit of my dill in there. Okay. So I'm going to just turn my weigh scale on. This has been the best. I bought this for Weight Watchers way back when, because if you follow me, you know that I've had so many struggles with yo-yo dieting, and I did Weight Watchers many times. So I got this, and it has turned to be very handy because I can use it for weighing stuff rather than measuring with teaspoons and stuff. And for things like creams and what do you call it, nut butters, you don't have to get a bunch of things dirty. Now, when you are putting in your salt, and my salt is Himalayan salt that has not been manufactured, so it's just the pure stuff. It's been ground, but it hasn't gone through additives. A lot of this Himalayan salt that you find in the stores actually has been manufactured, and they've added things like iodine in them and blah, blah, blah. This one does not. You want non-iodized salt. Oh, okay. So I was talking too much. So that the weigh scale went off. All right, so I'm doing 15 grams for 200 mils of water, or 250 mils, or 2 cups of water. And honestly, for my friends in the US, I actually, I'm not sure how much that is. I just know grams for this. So it looks like about a tablespoon, roughly. And the salt you need the salt for this, for sure. You need salt. And I'm just going to see if I can dump some water in without spilling it all. Of course not. And then we're going to just stir it up. I'm going to add a little bit of the rejuvelac. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup is good, or so. You can experiment with it. So I'm going to add, that's about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 cup. And there's my brine. I just want to make sure that try as best to get all of this salt dissolved, because you want the salt. So when we're pickling, so my grandmother and my mom I remember them getting together and doing all this pickling and making dill pickles. Oh, my grandmother's dill pickles were amazing. But they used vinegar and they pasteurized it. So they put it all into a steamer bath and did all this stuff. And then they would seal the jars with the lids. I don't have any of those lids, but they would seal the jar with the lids and all of that stuff. These ones, we're going to ferment them, and then we're going to put them in the fridge. But the salt water will keep the bad microorganisms out. They won't grow. So the rule when you're doing pickling and fermentation with vegetables, and you could do other vegetables too, it's not just carrots and dill, like cucumbers. So you could do like a medley and include some stuff like cauliflower. I imagine you could do broccoli, whatever you want. Just try. So I'm just going to add this and fill it up. You want the brine to cover all of your vegetables. You don't want the vegetables to be showing. They should be all fully submerged. That's why we stuff them in, because we don't want them floating up. Because once they're at the surface, then that's where they can have the bacteria growing on them. The rule of thumb is under the brine, everything's fine. So we've got one brine. Just going to add this one here to this one, and then I'm going to make some more brine. Let me see. I have a towel. I really made a mess here. I kind of knew that was going to happen. I think I could foreshadow that I wasn't going to do a good job of pouring, but that's okay. Now we're going to do this again. I don't need as much, but I'm just going to make the whole thing because I don't want to be playing around. I can always use it or throw it out. It's just brine water. So again, I got my 15 grams-ish of salt. I'll add in some water. This time I usually do this way where I just put a little bit, get it dissolved as much as possible, and then add more. So I want to make it to the 2 cup of the 500 ml level. Add some more. And then we'll add in some of this rejuvelac. Boom, to get it up. There we go. These are the ones that the canning lids would seal. These when you put them in the water, they would hot water and pasteurize, they would seal. But then once you pasteurize, you're getting rid of all of the good bacteria that are good for our gut health. And we don't want to do that. So that's why we're going through this process. So let's put and I'm going to fill it up. Boom. Here. Now you want to leave a little bit of room at the top for air bubbles and gases to escape, because as it's fermenting, the bacteria that's there will make bubbles as they're giving off, I think, the CO2 gas. And yeah, there we go. Now you can see, like, these carrots now, if you can see, they move around. They're not going to be so tight in a few days, that's for sure. So what we do is we add what's called a follower, which will keep anything from the top. So this is my follower. It's a piece of cabbage leaf. It's a cabbage leaf. I've washed it so that it's clean, and I'm just going to add it here. And then that way it keeps a little bit of a layer between the pickles, the cucumbers, and the top of the water. Remember, everything under the brine is fine. And then I have these pickling weights that I bought. They're pickle pebbles is what they're called. They're mason tops, and these ones are the wide mouth. So they're like a weight, just glass. So I can add that in here. Look at that. It's going to be really tight. So this, between the weight and the follower, which is my cabbage leaf, that's going to keep those pickles from floating up to the top. Now this one, I've got another piece of cabbage here for this one. Because it's down lower, we're going to just put it in here. I'm going to add it here and add my weight. Now you can also buy these for the narrow jars too. So I'm going to add this in so that if I can get it to go closer. Of course I spilled because I put too much in. Oh, it's okay. There we go. So that should keep it snug and tight. And you can, if you can put a lid on, you could put the lid on. This one, I'm not going to get a lid on it. So what I would do is cover it with a cloth and put an elastic on to keep other things from coming into it, to keep it clean. And then this one, I think I could get a jar lid on. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to leave this. There we go. So I would I don't want to put this on it, but I would put a lid on like that. But this is pretty snug, so it's probably going to keep it. So you're going to leave this out on your counter at around room temperature, and it will take anywhere from 3 to 7 days, depending if you use the rejuvelac, because the rejuvelac is going to help to as a starter. So if you use rejuvelac, it will ferment faster. But if you don't, it'll take a little bit longer. And every day you could just babysit it, check it out, maybe burp it, shake it around a little bit, and just make sure that your vegetables are under the brine. And the same thing here with this one. This one I might have to, it will, it's pretty tight, but it will loosen up as well. It's actually better tight than too loose. And then you just keep watching it. And when it looks like, look, you see how mine are cloudy here? You can taste and see if it's to the sourness that you like. You can taste and see. And once it's ready and you like it, you put it in the fridge. And it will still ferment, but it'll ferment a lot slower in the fridge because it's not, it's cold in your fridge. And that's it. The only other thing I want to say is you may get a white. So you do, I mean, you want to be careful about, what if some molds or something grow? They tend to grow sometimes a yeast, and that's okay. Again, it's only on the surface, and you can, when you've got the follower here, when you take it out, anything like a yeast will be there. If you see like a mold growing that's a colored, like a dark color or different colors, or it's getting really fuzzy, then you want to probably throw it out. I have never had that happen to me. But like if it ends up like a dark color, but I have had the white yeast a little bit on the top, and that's okay. And then when it's ready, you put it in the fridge, and you have pickles. Yum. Okay, I gotta try this one. Any questions? Oh, look at the questions. I have to try one of my pickles. And they will continue to get sour. These ones, I tried one of the carrots. I'm going to keep it in the fridge, and I'm just going to let it sit in my second fridge for a while to continue to develop the flavors. But I think the pickles are good. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I'm a pickle fan, too. So I think to buy this at the store nowadays is in Canada, you would have to buy it in the refrigerator section. I think you can get them some at Costco for like cheap, but to get it at like a regular store is $12 to $15 for that. I'm gonna make mine. I think I bought all my cucumbers and my dill and everything cost me about $8 in total, and I probably could make 3 jars. I got more. So I got 1, I got 2, and maybe I'll make a couple more. All right. Oh, okay.
They're so pretty.
Or am I excited? Yum. That pickle is good. All right. Let me just. It's still wet on my counter, so I'm just going to put this down. All right. Did you add anything more? Oh, you know what? I did not, and I forgot. I have liquid smoke here. You can add about a half a teaspoon or so of liquid smoke to your brine. You can add caraway seeds, or I think what is the other one that's good for that? Coriander seeds. Maybe if you wanted to, celery seeds. So yeah, you could add other things. But this one I did add some of the liquid smoke. This one I forgot, but it'll be okay. I'm good with just the dill and the garlic. Thank you all for joining me today. Take care.
Thank you, Debbie.
Bye.
Thank you,
Enjoy
everybody.
your